If your parents walked in right now, they would call what I'm about to do a disaster. A sticky, colorful, glittery disaster. I know if my mom walked in right now, she'd probably shake her head and say, "Oh my goodness," and walk straight back out. They definitely are not wrong. Not only does this recipe contain glue, it contains questionable decisions and pure hope that this doesn't go wrong. Some people, when I was growing up, would make slime the first time and it turned out perfectly, but I was never that lucky growing up and I'm still not that lucky now. I will demonstrate how to hopefully make the perfect batch of slime, tell you how each ingredient is used, and how to fix it if this ends up going wrong. This recipe contains a bowl, a spoon to mix it with, baking soda, and contact solution, which will act as our activator, a bottle of glue, I prefer Elmer's, food coloring for color, and I'm gonna add glitter because that's fun. Okay, our first step is you're gonna add a full bottle of glue. I'm gonna make sure you wanna squeeze it all out, which is gonna take a minute, but I don't like wasting my glue. Whenever I was making separate batches, I was able to make about 4 per person out of one batch of glue, so that's pretty good. Okay, next what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add food coloring. I chose red because I want to make pink slime, but you can honestly do any color you want. You could mix colors, I try to make purple and I mixed red and blue, but pink's my favorite. I'm just gonna add 1 drop because I want it to be light pink. Okay, now you're gonna mix it in. If it doesn't get all the way mixed in at first, it's okay, because you're going to be mixing your slime a lot. I'm trying to mix it as good as possible. Okay. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and add my baking soda. I'm going to do 3 small pinches. I'm probably going to have to go in and add more later, but you don't want to add too much or you're going to overactivate your slime. Mix that in. You want to make sure you don't see any of the powder. You want to make sure it's all mixed in before you add your contact solution. Okay. Next, I'm going to add the solution. Some people use borax for activator, but I didn't really know what that was growing up, so I just used what I had in the house, which is baking soda and contact solution. This is what's going to make your glue turn into slime. I'm going to give it a big squeeze and it almost makes a puddle in the glue. Okay. I'm going to start mixing. And this is the point where you should start seeing it come up and you're going to feel it harden. You're just going to keep adding more until it becomes almost one big blob. Figure out how to open it. As you can see, it's starting to come together. I usually, once it gets to this point, try to touch it to see if it's ready, but I don't want to make a huge mess like I normally do. So I'm just gonna keep going. Sometimes whenever people make slime, you can add different things in. You can add shaving cream to make it big and fluffy. You can add foam beads. I know some people used to do that to make it crunchy, but I never did that. So I'm just gonna be adding glitter. Okay, it's starting to come off the sides now. And this is when I'm gonna start adding in my glitter. I'm gonna give a lot of glitter because I want it to be seen, but okay. I'm gonna make sure it's all mixed in, so that way it's not just one glob of glitter in. Okay, it's starting to stick to the sides more, which means I should be able to start mixing it with my hands here in a second. Okay, it's definitely not ready. I'm going to continue adding contact solution. I'm gonna add a little bit more baking soda because this is definitely not going too hot. So I'm gonna add more. Okay. Now I'm gonna try to get as much access off the spoon as possible, so that way that's more slime I can play with later. Okay. Now I'm gonna try to mix it in with my hands, so that way it really like gets all mixed in there. It's gonna take a minute. So for this, the glue is what acts as like the base for everything. I remember growing up, some people would use like, try to make it with like conditioner and like random stuff they would find, but it never really worked as well. You can use any brand, but personally I like Elmer's because I realized when trying stuff out, like the off-brand, it takes a lot longer to mix up, but Elmer's always worked. So now that we have our slime, which I'll add more here in a second. Let's see. I feel like the big takeaway is that patience is key when making slime. Sometimes it doesn't turn out the way you want it, and that's okay. I've made lots of slime and it's went wrong. Making slime is more than just mixing ingredients. It's okay if it turns out messy, because honestly that just makes it more fun. I encourage you all to try to make slime because it's a fun process and it's kind of nostalgic. And in the end, slime reminds us that a little glue, creativity, and a little bit of time turns into something really fun. Thank you.